Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to a Foot Champs video. This is going to be my review for the month of December. There's 5 different weekends for this month, so that's why you guys see that there's so many different wins for the month of December. So we ended up getting 179 wins for the month, and we ended up being 36th in the world for the top 100 monthly rewards. So we will be able to get those 44 inform players as well as the legend card. So I just wanted to show this video to you guys to basically show you guys my progression, the team that I use, the instructions that I use, and the tactics that I use for the teams that I was using in general, or team that I was using in general, because I was just using only one team. So we ended up 36th in the world for regionals for the monthly for the monthly rewards of December. We ended up being in 8th place, which is not too bad. Pretty decent on our point of view. There's a lot of players in here that I feel like they're very hard done by. For instance, I think Benz is fantastic. Well, Benz, I think at 175. I think Benz is slightly better than I am, or just about the same. He's a very good player. There's one guy I faced one time, Hallucination. Hallucination is a fantastic player. Should definitely have been higher. 89 skills. Congratulations to him for making it to top 15. This guy I faced for this last weekend. Good player. Only beat him by like 2-1. Very close game. Yeah, there was a lot of stress for this weekend, for sure. Just like any other weekend. You know, gameplay is always very frustrating to play in Foot Champs, so it's always going to be a frustrating time to play, but the rewards are kind of worth it, so that's why you kind of play the game mode in a general sense. But I think it's really good that we made it 8th for the North American regions, considering the fact that we didn't spend any money on the game except for actually buying the game. So I think it's really cool that we actually made top 100 for the regionals, considering we didn't spend any money. But at the same time, I do have a pretty decent team now, which I am going to show you guys right now. So here's the team that I was using, guys. The team that you see here is basically the pre-squad to what I actually use, because I actually don't use the 4-3-3. I use the 4-1-2-2 bracket 2 in-game just to keep the chemistry. But this is the team that we rock with nowadays. It's actually really solid. There's going to be a couple of upgrades here and there in the future as we keep getting our Foot Champs rewards. The right wing spot, I do want to get George Best, because I do think George Best would be the best cam in the game. I was using Neymar as a cam. He's not too bad as a cam. The only problem with Neymar is that his passing isn't that great. But he's very good in other aspects, which I did enjoy him for. But at the same time, you know, the thing about George Best, and I've used George Best once in the draft, and I know the draft isn't the best way to try out a player to see if he's actually really good or not, but the reason why I like George Best so much, because George Best is very aggressive, right? That's one characteristic about Griezmann that I really liked. I don't know if he actually has a good aggression stat, but in-game they feel really aggressive, right? That's why I really enjoy using them so much. My back four consists of Kyle Walker, Chris Smalling, Boateng, and Alaba. I've been kind of contemplating the whole Alaba Boateng situation, because I think Kyle Walker is a fantastic fullback. I think he's absolutely incredible. And I think Alaba's very good too, just because of the fact that, you know, he has a 4-star weak foot. 86 pace is decent. But the only thing is that he has 86 pace, but then he doesn't have the physical, right? So it's like, when you have pace and physical, it makes you faster, because when you have the physical trait, like people like Kyle Walker with 81 physical and 93 pace. It's not actually 93, but you guys know what I mean. You know, he runs faster and he's more aggressive towards getting the ball. And I kind of feel like I missed that on the left side with Alaba and Boateng. But it's very difficult to get a solid left back to be able to do the same things that Kyle Walker does. Boateng is a fantastic center back. My only problem with Boateng is I kind of want to have the same work rates as Chris Smalling, medium-high, and as you guys know, Boateng is on medium-medium, so that's why not a huge fan of his, because I want the two center backs to be able to move kind of in the same way in terms of work rate, so that's why I kind of wanted to adjust that. Again, this isn't the formation that I use, so I'm going to go ahead and switch to the 4-1-2-2. This is how the team actually looks in-game. So again, Neymar cam. I do want to upgrade Neymar to someone like George Best. Left side, maybe like a Petite or something. I would think Ronaldo Sanchez is fantastic. I would actually keep him in the squad. I'd probably put him on the bench just to have as a substitute or something. Patrick Vieira changed my life forever. I think Patrick Vieira is a fantastic CDM. But I really do think it depends on how the gameplay is, because, you know, when I use Conte and when I use Patrick Vieira, it feels very similar when the gameplay isn't playing to a good standard. So that's why it's kind of like meh. But at the same time, that height advantage and that physical advantage by Patrick Vieira just makes him significantly better than Conte. More so when the gameplay is pretty decent. But even still, he's still a lot better than Conte, and I do not regret buying him. He's fantastic. Pogba, For me, best right center mid in the game. You know, he's a fantastic player with his right, left foot, 4-star. I think it's 4-star, 5-star. Yeah, 4-star, 5-star. He's fantastic. It's so nice to have him being able to do the McGeady spin, because McGeady spin is a little bit sharper than a Berbatov spin. So that's why I enjoy using Pogba so much. Renato Sanchez, you know, it doesn't have necessarily the good stats, but he has all the important stats in FIFA that makes him a good player, which is why he's a good player in this game. So definitely interesting in the Renato Sanchez area. Again, Neymar Cam, I do want to upgrade that in the future, but it was nice to have someone who was faster, good at shooting, and good on the ball, so that's why I kept Neymar there. Griezmann, I'm on the fence about. I kind of want to get his Team of the Group Stage card, just because of the fact that he's faster. And people will be like, you know, pace whore or whatever, but the thing is, guys, is that like when you have someone like Ronaldo who has 92 pace, right? And you have someone like Griezmann that has 88 pace. He just doesn't, he's not as fast as Ronaldo, and obviously he's not as physical as Ronaldo. The only thing about Griezmann, though, is that Griezmann is fantastic at finishing with his left foot. Like, he scores at the craziest angles. Like, I'll be at an angle and I'll be like, just because this is Griezmann, I think I'm going to score this. And he ends up scoring it because he's so good at finishing, right? So that's why I enjoy using Griezmann so much. I really do feel like in FIFA, you do need someone who's left-footed on the left side, right-footed on the right side. Maybe in the future, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with Griezmann. I don't know if I'm going to want to use Bale instead of him. I'm not sure if I want to use anybody else instead of him. We'll see as the game progresses, as we get our upgrades, and as we get the 44 informs. God knows who we're going to get. So definitely going to be interesting in that part. For the instructions for this formation, we rock with stay back while attacking for the back four. The CDM is stay back while attacking. I do want to experiment with the, I think it's this one, man mark. Reason being is because sometimes the CDM is in places that I don't like him being in. And if he man marks, maybe it'll position him in a better way where he's not in a position I don't like him to be in. I didn't want to experiment that in foot champs, because once I'm used to a certain formation and certain tactics, you can't just change from that like on the trot, because then it might screw you over. So that's why I didn't really change much. For the center mids, they're also on stay back while attacking. Reason being is, for me personally, I don't like playing against people who are really super defensive, because then I have to be super defensive. So when people go do super defensive for me, I also need to do it too, because you gotta, the way that this game kind of works, that you kind of gotta balance it out. And I know that some people can deal with the park the bus and all, and the, you know, the ultra defensive and stuff, but when people do that against me, I do the exact same thing to counter against them. I did that the last weekend because it's really overpowered, park the bus and ultra defense, because of the fact that defensive AI is so overpowered. And depending on how the gameplay feels, if it feels slow, you can't exploit someone's defense quickly. You know, you can't move around quickly. You're very restricted in movement, so it makes it even more overpowered. Not even more power. It makes it more overpowered just because of the fact that you can exploit their defense quickly, depending on how the game feels, right? So that's why I do the exact same thing and just hope that I score a long shot, or I can exploit his defense somehow with Neymar, Griezmann, or Ronaldo. The cam I don't touch at all. He's just the same thing, stick to position, balance on everything else. I may adjust that as the time goes on. And for the strikers is get in behind and press the back line. So that's the instructions that I use for this team. The custom tactics that I used for this formation, I was actually changing on the trot as I was playing foot champs. I kind of adjusted it, I would say, from the 30th game to the 40th game, because there was a couple things that I wasn't liking. Again, if the gameplay doesn't feel up to par, I like to put the shooting higher so that, you know, more players will be outside the box and inside the box, because you don't want them being inside the box when you can't exploit their defense properly, because then you won't be able to even create that chance. So it's nice to have them a little bit outside the box. That's why I like to have the shooting a little bit higher. I added it a little bit higher. Crossing at 43 and passing at 44 seems a little bit balanced for me. I might change it as I go on. Speed and passing is at 57 and 44. Organized. Defense was pressure 37, aggression 36, and 54 team width. The reason why I did that is because I got really annoyed one game when my defensive AI tackled somebody in the box and gave them a penalty, and it was because like aggression and pressure is so it was a little bit higher, so I put it lower to avoid that a little bit more. But obviously the players are going to still do it regardless. But I kind of got annoyed at the fact that they did do that, so that's why I kind of adjusted the defensive tactics a little bit to kind of suit my style of play a little bit more. And again, when people go park the bus or ultra defense, when you go ultra defense, park the bus with these tactics, they literally cannot pass you if the game feels slow. So that's why I switched the defensive tactics to that. And yeah, that's pretty much for the team. and for the tactics. It's really cool that we managed to get top 100 for FUT Champs this month. I know I didn't get it for the month, for the first month of FIFA and the second month of FIFA, I believe. Reason being is because, as you guys know, I was sick for like 3 weeks, so it's kind of hard to play the games in a general sense. But yeah, it's really cool that we managed to get top 100. Considering that like no money was spent on this account, so it kind of makes the feeling a little bit better, especially if I get those 44 informed cards. It's gonna make the general feeling really nice. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video today. If you guys did, please drop a thumbs up on it, and I'll see you guys in the next video or the stream. Peace.